Tristrina Show.
On a Thursday,
Tristrina Show.
wake up and flow.
Tristrina Show.
It's a fun day.
Tristrina Show.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Well, you know what day it is. It's a fun day. And
That's
you know
right.
the show.
And if you're a songwriter and you like writing jingles,
Hire us.
we're open to previewing your material for our show.
Oh, so much fun. We love these Thursdays. It's date night here.
Tristrina Show.
Whoa. Date night here at the Truscott household residence. And it's date night with you. And we've got a juicy topic for today. This is a really good
Carol
one.
and Beth and Gail, we see you guys popping in to hang with us.
Hugs. What do you guys? I need a drink. Give me a drink. What's that? Who wants Topo Chico? Anybody got a drink that they're enjoying? The bubbly.
Mexican water.
We paid for it. Hi, Claudine. Thank you, darling. We're feeling great. Oh, yeah. So you want to tell them about the juicy topic?
Sure. To get to the right point in the music. Tonight's show, ladies and gentlemen, it's about the art of giving and receiving criticism and praise.
Bring it. Can you take it? Can you take the judgment, the criticism, the opinions? How dare they?
Not just take it, but do you give it?
And can you receive the love?
Because you can give criticism and give praise as a compliment or as a weapon.
True that.
It's very deep. Everything's so much deeper
Cuts like a knife,
than
man.
people think.
So, why don't we jump right in? We're in the hot seat, if you will, sometimes, of receiving commentary about our work in the world. And for the most part, I would say we glow from the commentary. We are so loved and we are so grateful for the amazing feedback. I mean, obviously, you guys that are here, you're digging this thing. You're like,
Joe,
what do you
what
know?
do you know?
And you share so much love with us, and we so appreciate that. And we just try to pour the love right back. You know, it's a mutual experience. So that's that. But yes, my dear,
Start with the story.
go for it. We received an email.
No.
Which story? Oh, the
No,
morning.
yes. So
Sabrina's story.
3 days ago, it's our story.
Oh yeah, I was part of this.
I walked out of the front door, which is right over here, and I was walking to the car parked in the driveway, and it was 7:50 in the morning, and the sun was at that like 45 degrees. It maybe not even that high. Let's say 35 degree angle. So it was like, whoa, it's bright, but it wasn't overhead, and everything was glistening and everything was sparkling, and it was obviously all about that. And then I got to my car and I turned to open the door, and when I did, I looked the other direction. And when I looked the other direction, it was a blue sky with white fluffy clouds and this big, gorgeous, quiet moon that really knew nothing, seemingly, about the sun. Of course, we couldn't see the moon if the sun wasn't there, but we're just going to pretend that's not true right now for the sake of the story.
They don't even know each other exists.
And I saw in that moment, wow, it's totally up to me which direction I choose to look, and that I could fight for my opinion. The sun is up. The sun is up. Or the moon is up. It's dusk. It's morning. And so I actually came back inside and said to Tristan, you've got to come outside and see something. And he wasn't thrilled with the thought of going outside at 7:50.
Tristan was still waking up, but he was a trooper. He got those slippers on and he shuffled out the door. You should see me in the morning. It's a riot.
And I just saw the contrast, and I saw the choice, and that neither was right or wrong. If someone said the moon was out this morning, yes. The sun was out this morning, yes. but that you could argue. I saw it could become an argument. If I hadn't turned around, I would have said, there wasn't a moon, it was the sun.
Yeah, they can't both coexist. Oh, really? No, it was this glorious, I mean, you got sun and moon, sun and water, if you will. Glorious sun. I mean, it was just so beautiful. It was peeking up. And she's like, and I turn around and there it was.
It was such a quiet moon.
It was very
really
quiet.
Beautiful way.
But the contrast was so incredible to be standing on this planet, seeing these two other planets, and here we all are just floating in this galaxy. And the beauty of a seeming opposite, seeming duality, seeming not to happen at the same time, and yet they can. Which leads us into, can both coexist?
Yeah.
Can you have praise and criticism?
And who's judging one as praise and one as criticism?
Right. Absolutely.
Right? And who's hearing it? Right? Because it's so deep, man.
Man, we're going deep today.
And the reason that we are having this as the topic of the True Breeder Show is we mentioned some of this in our monthly VIP Awaken Living Club call. And it's a group that we have a call with every month. And everyone loved talking about it because everyone has felt criticism, unfairly criticized.
It's not right.
Misunderstood.
You don't see me. You totally misinterpreted what I said.
And we want to protect and defend. And we were getting so many beautiful emails. Thank you so much for taking the time, because you don't have to take the time to write in. I'm really grateful. We got people writing in, I didn't have enough money to purchase one of your programs, but you've changed my life in this way, this way, this way, and I just wanted to let you know, and I'm saving up to invest with you.
We had done a 5-day energy expansion event, and so that's why we were getting this feedback from the free classes we were offering.
And just really people sharing their hearts, like long emails.
Beautiful stuff.
I don't have a lot of joy in my life, and I would watch your videos, and I would laugh so hard. I loved this one. I had to pause the video to stop laughing before I kept watching, and it was such a contrast to something that was going on in my life at that time, that the life was really heavy, and the joy that they felt playing with us like this, with this free spirit.
Yes.
And that really fed us, right? So we're like, yes, we're on track. We're presenting in the right way.
It's a reflection.
They see us. They get us. And then we got some other emails.
Well, how many? Every now and then there's someone gets frustrated with technology.
Yeah.
But this one in particular really was one.
Yeah.
But before you do this, what I find so beautiful at this point in receiving an email like this, it's such a check-in time, and you will have this in your own way, whether it's an email or a phone call or something somebody says, or you hear it through the grapevine. It's such a beautiful opportunity to check in and go, was that really delivered to me? Or was that intended for themselves? Anyway, let's go ahead and dig into it.
Before I read this, so one of the things that we really try to do is to allow the playful side of our personalities to come out and to share it with everyone, because it's so easy for all of us to be that playful way with our closest family and closest friends, or maybe just our dogs, right? And then when other people are around, to hide that. So we've really made an effort to have the sameness. If you see me and Winston talking, or me and Bentley, those are our dogs.
Talk all the time.
We do.
We know you guys have conversation. I'm like, who are you talking to, Winston?
It will be the same as if you're here. There won't be that difference. So I guess I could almost say that because we have put effort into it, I have a sense of pride about it. Like, we are who we are, and that feels really good. And sometimes we like to play, and we like to be silly.
Very silly.
And we want to entertain, even just around the house when nobody's here.
We all break into song and dance. I mean, it's known to happen.
That's part of our color that I have felt good about. And then we received this email from a woman, and
we won't say her name.
Well, yeah, I will.
No.
Yeah, well, her name is Tina.
That's all you get.
Yeah.
Tina, if you're watching, I doubt you would.
No, she's not watching. And all the email said is, have you ever watched your ridiculous, gotta turn it this way, your ridiculous cheap, screaming performances.
In fact, we have Tina.
It is about the worst I have ever seen in the context of teaching.
Thank you for your opinion.
With disappointed regards,
Regards.
Tina. And so I read it and I thought maybe, I did wear that Minnie Mouse red bow on my head a few weeks ago.
I remember when I might have been screaming.
When you had those pom-poms.
When I was pom-pomming on my head. I might have been screaming. But I wasn't really teaching that day.
But so what? What if you were? We were teaching how to be free.
Tina!
And so, of course, we have to look this woman up and see like who she is. And she's a body worker. She's does
really into craniosacral. Yeah.
And so awesome. We so respect body workers and things like that.
So much so. It's a beautiful art.
We had to talk about it and say, isn't it okay? Let's just say that moon, sun are equal. That she looked at what we would call sun and she was like, ugh.
Sure.
I like moon. And just like, okay, Tina, go find moon, right? You don't want our flavor, and just to be okay with that and not take it personally.
Massively okay with it. In fact, I invite it. In the world of sharing,
take it and go.
Take it and go. In the world of sharing, if you're actually sharing your essence and your truth, you probably will polarize.
Hello, Bonnie.
You probably will experience that there's sometimes, it depends on where you share and what you're putting out energetically, because you're going to attract that which is in alignment. So sometimes you'll attract a voice or an opinion like this, and you use it to reflect like, oh, maybe I was screaming. Like, especially if you get a lot of emails like that. Yeah. Like, man, you guys scream a lot or you talk too much. You would look at that and you would probably say thank you for the feedback, or at least to the universe, right? Like, let me take a look at that. Now, because the majority...
Or I'm not speaking to my audience, my ideal audience.
In marketing, it would be that, right? So for those of you who are sharing your work in the world, and we know that we have a lot of coaches and teachers here that love the inspiration of the love-based business side of what we do, you might find that you polarize, and that's good feedback. You know, you don't want to be so lukewarm that you're trying to fit for everybody's preference. It's okay to be passionate in a particular direction with a particular flavor that really lights a certain type of person up, what we would call your tribe. And then others will say no. Now, some people will vote with, the little buttons, right? They can be, thumbs down, I didn't like it. Right? That's what YouTube's great for. And then you'll get the love heart showers, and sometimes you'll get like the mad face or whatever. And then you might get the email. Here's the best part. This is truly the best part. Above and beyond reflecting for yourself is to realize that it has nothing to do with you. That many people will take a thought in their mind, you might trigger it, and they will vomit and project it on you. Now, if you want to go ahead and wrestle with a pig, guess what? You're going to get dirty. I used to take it so personal, and I would have to write these people back. They'd get a paragraph, and I would engage it.
Did you notice he went like this when he said paragraph?
They'd get a paragraph. You don't see this defensive part. Now, part of that is self-doubt, thinking that we have to defend ourselves or they don't get me. Or then when over time, it's not about getting thick skin. I think it's important to keep feeling, but to know that that really didn't have anything to do with me. And here's the kicker. If you can respond to that with love,
let me find your response.
You are ninja. If you can feel into that person or people and go, oh, wow, not that you're right and they're wrong. Okay, this is important. Not that they're right, you're wrong, or you're right and they're wrong. However you want to look at it, right? Same thing, and just reframe the angle. But could you respond with love? Could you like, wow? And I think I said something about, I love the work that you're doing in the world. I don't remember exactly. Cranial sacral is so beautiful. Yeah. And in the way that you love to play, because she said, have you noticed how you show
here
up?
It is.
What did I say?
He wrote, I wanted to write back, but he got there first.
Obviously, this is just a wonderful topic about receiving criticism.
Well, Tina, it seems our playful energy is not for everyone. Smiley face.
Truth.
Keep up the great work that you do with cranial sacral therapy.
Checked her out.
That's such a beautiful practice, and we're sure you're helping a lot of people in your own loving, playful way. With much love, Trisbrina.
And I sincerely meant every aspect of that.
Yeah.
There's nothing in us that needs to defend or attack back, because the moment you do that, you activate that vibration and you get more emails from Tina or Tina vibration, okay?
Yeah.
So be mindful.
Yeah,
That
because
was a big lesson.
you feed that energy. I remember a teacher years ago. I was concerned about what people thought about me. Like, I'm going to act this way because I don't want them to think if I'm quiet, they're going to think I'm stuck up, and if I talk a lot, they're going to, if you care what people think and you base who you are on that, it's a dead end. And this teacher said to me, if I said to you that you were a African hippopotamus with an ingrown toenail,
How dare you?
how would you feel? And I giggled, and he said, well, you laughed. Why did you laugh? And I said, well, because not only am I not a hippopotamus, I don't have an ingrown toenail. And he's like, that's right. So when you do react, it's because something in what was said, you're afraid it's true, or you think it might be, or you hate it so much that you don't want to be that so much. And that's really helped me, that when I have a reaction, I have to know, oh, wow, there's something in me that feels that way.
So good to own it, right?
Yeah. But this conversation isn't just about receiving criticism and praise. We didn't talk about receiving the praise.
I think that's a really important
receiving
one as
the
well.
praise is just the same. It's like, they see the sun, and there's going to be, like, I always have to know to let both coexist.
It's totally fine. It's beautiful. So I think it's important to allow the person sharing the love to allow it in. So for years, we used to downplay that. Part of it was we'd heard from some teachers, be careful, don't let your head get swollen, blah, blah, blah stuff, right? And then, so we would actually kind of push that praise away and like, oh, well, it wasn't us and it's just you. But it's okay to allow that person to share the love and just to be the mirror for them, hold space and say thank you.
Yep.
Like somebody would say something nice about the way you looked.
Yeah, I had this thing where, and looking back, at the time I thought it was humble, but it really was rude looking back, is if someone gave me a compliment, let's say, I really like your hair, I would always say, oh my gosh, I haven't even washed it for a couple days, or I really like that shirt. Oh my gosh, I got it for $7 at TJ Maxx. There always had to be some little downplay.
Yeah.
And what I realized was, if I had said to that person, thank you so much for saying that, that made me feel really good. Or,
oh, that's your ego?
Thank you. I really like the way my hair looks today too. Or, thank you, I wasn't sure about this new hairstyle, so I appreciate the feedback. Something that honors and acknowledges that they took the time and the bravery and the courage to share what they thought. I actually just listened to, I was a guest on a podcast, and I have decided that I need to thank people more for every little thing they acknowledge. She was so good, this woman. When I would say something, she would say, thank you for sharing that. Thank you for being vulnerable. And it made me feel so safe with her. And sometimes I just assume that people are feeling good with what they're saying. And I could do more of that in one-on-one situations and in life when someone shares something private with me. I want to start taking the time to say, thank you for trusting me with that.
So what do you guys think about this? Is this juicy enough? Bonnie says it's impossible for me to not have an internal triggered reaction. Then after calming, I give a response from love. Awesome. It's an important thing to recognize the reactions. How quickly can we realign and remember, hey, I'm just a soul here. Yeah. Everyone's allowed to have their own opinion, and I just want to give love back. Great response. Tristan says, Carol, Tina seems to be the one who is unhappy and possibly needs some guidance. Maybe, and we're probably not her teachers, obviously.
Because you can see how screamy we are.
We scream so much.
And ridiculous.
Have you seen how ridiculous you are? But you know what? Here's what's great. Can you laugh? Like, we're laughing. Even when it came in, I was laughing. I was like, oh, here's a good one. Sometimes I like to share them with some people that work closely with us. And I'm just like, wow. And I use it as a teaching for them and for us too, right? Like
Yeah.
it's so important to not take yourself too seriously.
Like when one time we gave away this free training and somebody wrote us this long email about all the things they didn't like about it. And we were like, not free enough for you?
So if you are in the world, in the workplace, or you're in a similar industry to us, don't take it personally, you know?
Or just in life.
In life, yeah. In life in general.
In
right?
relationships.
Absolutely. Period, right?
And everything.
So just remember that that person has a definition in their own mind. It's called projection. For whatever reason they've chosen to use you, it's your opportunity now what you're going to do with it, right? Wayne Dyer, such a great teacher, would always talk about, your reaction is your karma. Their vomit, that's their karma. So what are you going to do? Well, I'm going to respond from love. He also had another great analogy about the orange. If you take an orange and you squeeze an orange, what's going to come out is the orange juice. So if someone puts pressure on you and squeezes on you a little bit, if you have anger or reaction inside, that's coming out of you because it was inside.
It was already in there.
It wasn't because they pressured you. It's because that was what was inside. That was your orange juice. So if you're filled with love and someone squeezes you, sorry, Tina, you're getting love.
And for me, it's usually not anger.
Not sorry. Sorry.
Like a lot of times it's like, you squeeze me and anger comes out. Well, what if you squeeze me and it's like, well, I'm not angry, but what you said really hurt me. And you knew that was a sore spot. And you knew that was one of the lowest blows you could say. Why did you say that? That would really seem like that person's a jerk. Maybe, probably. But the hurt is a wound that I already have that was sort of scratched on by what that person said. And in some ways, when that happens, I can take a moment to say, why did that hurt my feelings so much when they said that thing? Because I have that wound, and then I can take the time to work on that issue because the juice that came out, the wound juice, was the wound that was already in there. I could also choose to spend time with people that don't do that or to share. Sometimes you can just share, hey, I know it's silly, but when you say, but when you say buttons, the word buttons really upsets me because this thing happened as a kid and I know it's weird, but if you could use it less, that would be awesome. It's okay to communicate with people.
Absolutely. I have another one that's happened to me this week that it falls in alignment with what's coming through right now. So this one for me has to do with communication between people who I love and respect. Definitely in our industry, in the workplace, sometimes what will happen is people get busy and they might not respond to you, right? Now, I have to look at this for me because I get a lot of correspondence and I don't always have the ability to get back right away. But if it's someone pretty close, like if it's Sabrina, she's getting a call back immediately. She's getting a text, even if I'm on the Stairmaster. So that's a given. If it's my close friends, people who are called my brothers,
Sometimes
right?
the response might be, stop texting me.
That's after several responses already and hearts and stuff. Anyway. I have a couple of people who are really close in their friendship, but they're just really bad, one in particular, about responding. And it started to really irritate me. It's actually happened with two people. And Tristan's feelings get hurt. I'm human just like everyone, right? So we've got humanity and we've got our divinity. And so, some of you were talking about count to 10 or, give it some time. And so that's really good. This person and I had an arrangement and it didn't happen. And then we had another arrangement and it didn't happen. This person kept pushing this thing off. And I was like, this feels a little, I'm going to say disrespectful, but that's just my own stuff, right? But in the workplace, it is a little disrespectful. And it kind of messed us up a little bit.
But as friends, too.
As a
like
friend,
if you feel like you're putting in 10 units of energy and they're putting in 50 cents, repeatedly,
doesn't feel fair, right?
Then someone isn't valuing the connection as much as you. I always look at that, and if the person I'm in connection with isn't valuing it in the same way, we need to have a conversation. We need to figure out what the issue is, because maybe my energy is worth a lot, and I need to find somebody who, when I put in 10 units, is like, oh my gosh, I'll put in 10 and raise you 10.
Yeah.
because I value
That's
what you
aligned,
are.
an aligned relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, the expectation that you have may be very different than the expectation they have. And that's what I think is happening here for me is my expectation, because to me, friendship and loyalty is like very high on my value scale. And this person has shared with me some very beautiful, deep things. I look at that and I go, maybe I'm having a different expectation about the relationship. And so another great Wayne Dyer teaching seemed to be coming through right now is he says we teach people how to treat us. So the way we act and respond is actually teaching them. So if I continue to allow this relationship to continue the way it's going, it doesn't feel aligned to me. So I actually said something, and I because I can't seem to reach this person, I had to send it via text. We'll see if it ever even gets read. Doesn't matter. For my energy, I needed to stand up for my energy. Does this make sense? So if you've ever like downplay it or just feel like, well, I guess it's just not meant to be, and sometimes you need to put a little yang in and like stand up for your integrity and for your identity and who you are. So I was like, you know what, brother? Here's how this rolls. And if this doesn't shift, that's totally cool. And here's the kicker again. I love you. And I truly mean it's not just like and I love you. I really love you and I honor you and I honor the work you're doing in the world. And that's totally cool. Like maybe you're just super busy and love and blessing. But I've got to do what's right for me. So that was another important lesson that came through lately. I didn't want to judge and criticize though. It just wasn't in alignment for me. I don't want to throw anything at the other person. Now, if they're trying to attack or hurt somebody, that's a different thing. But so I had to really clean my energy and send love and at the same time take care of myself.
Mm-hmm.
That's my other thought. Okay.
I think that when we're giving, let's say, compliments or acknowledging what we do love, and then, and it depending on the relationship, like if you're in the type of relationship where you have invited each other to share what you love and what you don't like. There's certain relationships that I don't have that, right? Let's say some of my teachers or mentors, that the relationship is not come to my class and then tell me what you didn't like about it. That invitation is not there. The invitation to, in the right moment, say, I got a lot out of that. So it all depends on the relationship that you have, how you praise and give criticism. Criticism can be very, very beautiful.
Very beautiful.
That word is tough. Criticism can be
constructive and loving.
Let's try that font that you chose. I don't think it's the best one. That's a style of text. Let's try something softer and more curvy.
Sounds like you may be talking to me. That would be something Sabrina would say
yeah,
to Tristan.
Neither of us are big lovers of criticism.
Not so much. But if you put it in a complimentary sandwich, I'm fine. Do you guys know what a complimentary sandwich is? And I want to read Michelle's comment in a moment. It's really awesome. But a complimentary sandwich, just as far as communicating goes, is really a nice way to enter in, because you start with, it's always one vibration. It should be a higher, more beautiful, loving outcome, right? That should be the intention. So you say, hey, I love the way that you, let's say it's designing a web page. This is actually very real. Sabrina, here's how I like to receive criticism. Wow, I love the new page that you created.
What if I didn't?
Then it's my reaction. But we teach people how to treat us, right? So we have to train the ones we love. My love language is this. But here's how it might go. I love the page. It's so cool. That thing right there, that font, feels a little loud the way it comes across. Could we try something else? Because I bet if we do that, here's the transition. Oh my gosh, people are going to love this page, blah, blah, blah. And I will receive that well. And some people, they're just, come right in and be like, that font, no, not so good. Change it. Like, ow.
Yeah.
That's hard. That's hard to receive. So,
but we treat others.
Think about it. The way we treat ourselves.
I know I treat others the way I treat myself. And for myself, I'm like, I like fast. I
Sabrina
like things
loves
to go.
fast.
Like,
she has a fast process.
I really find it very calming. I like.
Fix it.
Come on, go. Let's go fast. I like that. And so if I showed somebody a web page and and I knew they were complimentary sandwiching me, I'd be like,
oh, come
seriously?
on. You don't speak the truth.
If I knew I was being sandwiched.
Beautiful but you would never see it coming.
Well,
I complimentary sandwich you from not from a strategy.
Okay.
No, like I really think this is my truth. You have your own style, and she thinks it's a strategy now. I want to honor that which is beautiful. Honestly,
right.
Not
if
as a strategy.
You can't say something nicey nice so that it opens the door to get your ding in.
To do a ding, yeah.
Right?
That is not the intention.
That's passive aggressive. That's really passive aggressive.
So don't do that.
And one of the things I dislike the most, so I probably have some.
You don't like sneaky.
I don't like passive aggressive.
Me neither.
That
okay.
Smile on your face while you dig it in.
Yeah, don't
Reminds
do that.
Me of some of the ladies in the church.
Watch out, people. Don't do that to Sabrina. Michelle says it's important. This is going back to when we're speaking. Let me read it. It's important for people to share, whether it's positive or not so positive feedback. One has to feel safe to give feedback. I remember a student once was upset, and he was emoting in class, and I suddenly realized, wow, he's so silent in class most of the time, and today he is emoting. I guess he feels safe with me to let his guard down. We're all in this together. How we perceive things is our own stuff. So it's so true, right? It is on us, but to the sandwich, it's in the delivery as well, is that we can help create what you're saying, a place to feel safe. Not like someone's attacking us or judging us, but it's like, I love you. And hey, there's this thing.
And when you're creating something, right? Like we're just going to say it. So you're creating that page that I looked at and didn't care for. And
is this real?
As real as you want to make it.
Okay.
And part of it's because maybe I didn't stop and think that he was creating it for me. Even though it's for our clients and customers, he wanted me to like it. Right? So sometimes to remember that, like if you make food for someone, you're making it not just for nutrition, but because you want them to have a joyful emotion. You want them to taste it and to know how much you love them because it tastes good and that you took the time, and your joy of making that food is connected to their receiving of it. So if the first thing they do is taste it and go, ooh, too salty and kind of tangy, right? That would hurt their feelings more than acknowledging the love. See, everything is love. It's all about remembering that everything is love. We want love. Everyone wants love. Everything we're doing and everything
all
is saying
you need is love.
Because we want love.
So that really helps me land on the safest place that I can live from. Is I want to be the one who's 100% responsible for my experience at all times, no matter what anyone says, including Sabrina. Or critics.
That's not going to happen.
I know, but I'm working on this. Seriously, though, I have been at the lowest point in my life, crawling on the floor, all kinds of misery, feeling terrible. And I've been able to connect to a source of unconditional love in my own being, where I don't need praise and I don't really care about criticism because I'm deeply and divinely connected to the source of all that is. And in that place, I'm golden. I'm good. I don't need anyone or anything. Now, do I love human connection? And do I love bringing that divinity into all that is human and upgrade my thoughts and feelings? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, it comes down to your own consciousness, your own awakening, your own self-belief, experience of the love that we are. And in that, I'm good. I sleep great at night because I love Tristan. And I love you because you're an extension of me. And we love you because you're an extension of us. We wouldn't be here together, Trisbrina-ing, and what we're doing if we weren't all connected to that same oneness. Mm-hmm. And on that note, I hear music coming. Date night. It's date night. Go play with your friend.
Trisbrina Show.
What do you know?
Trisbrina Show. Wake up and flow. These Thursdays are so fun with you guys and you gals. Thanks for showing up live. Thanks for leaving comments if you're watching the replay on Facebook. And maybe you're enjoying the replay on our website. There's a tab called The Show.
Thank you all for the feedback. I just was able to throw a couple up there. And thank you for the dance that you create this opportunity for me to play with you and share the love. And, you know, all of us get to come together and keep evolving together. So,
and
amazing.
Video is like so being right here with you guys. Like,
I know.
Feel like we're just
seeing
having a
your
party.
pictures, seeing what you're writing, feeling your energy. It's amazing. All right. Have an incredible rest of your Thursday. We'll see you on the next
Just Bring a Show on a Thursday.
Just Bring a Show.
Wake up and flow.